come here. Yes, you. And sit with me for a moment. Before we even talk about anything today, I want you to do something really brave for me. Put your hand over your heart right there, just like this, right? Feel it. Do you feel it? You feel the heartbeat. Now breathe. Slowly. Like you're giving your heart permission to stop shaking. Because today we are talking about something so painful. Something that so many of us hide deep down inside. As a matter of fact, many of us don't ask that question. We do not ask ourselves that question. We hide it real deep inside and we bury it with so many things. That thing you cry about when no one is watching. And what is that? Why you keep choosing people who hurt you. It's not why you keep falling for the wrong person. It's not also why you can't get it right, but it's why your heart keeps searching for love in the same broken places. So I want to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me, and also be honest with yourself. Do you choose these people, or do your wounds choose them for you? Not too many people ask you that, right? I mean, I've never been asked that. I don't know about you, but I see you. Truly, I see the version of you that smiles in public but prays not to cry at night. I see the version of you that says, this time, I'll do my best. I'll be different. I'll do it differently. But deep down, you already know how it ends. It's more or less very predictable about how it's going to end. And I see the version of you that keeps giving chances. Keeps giving chances over and over and over again. Because walking away feels like tearing off your own skin. So let's talk, not as strangers, but as two people who understand heartbreak intimately. Hi, my love, and welcome to Oasis of the Heart, where broken hearts heal and God restores what pain tried to destroy. If you're new here, my name is Blessing, and I'm really excited to have you watch this podcast, this particular episode. Okay, now if you are a returning subscriber, first of all, thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, click the notification button so that when I drop new episodes, you are the first to get notified. Alright, so this space is for the kind of healing nobody teaches us growing up, the kind that we learn through tears. Now let's start with the story. I want you to picture something right now. Picture yourself standing in a room full of people. Some are safe, some are gentle, while some love you well. But who does your heart walk towards first? Question. The one who reminds you of home, even if home was painful. You see, we don't choose familiar because it's good. We choose familiar because it is what we've survived. And sometimes survival feels like love. Let me ask you something else, and please be honest. When someone treats you gently, when someone treats you well, when someone treats you nicely, does it feel strange? Probably almost uncomfortable, right? I understand, because it's unfamiliar. Like you're waiting for the moment they switch. That's not you being dramatic. That's your body reacting to unfamiliar safety. I know how it feels. I've been there. And I need you to hear this. You are not addicted to the person. You are addicted to the pattern. This is addiction. You are not drawn to their love. You are drawn to the wounds they touch. Think about it. Why do you keep going back to the same person? There's a lot to it. Now, the realness no one tells you is this. You don't pick them because they are special. You don't keep going back because they are very special to you. They love you. Or there's something really special about them. You pick them because they feel like something you recognize. This is something that has already affected your psychology. So people who grew up around unstable love will mistake emotional instability for chemistry. People who were ignored as children will feel drawn to people who make them chase. People who had to earn affection will choose partners who make them work very hard or make them work for every drop of attention. Probably you don't know what pain teaches you. Pain teaches you what love should feel like before you even know what love is. Let me ask you something that might sting. If someone truly, healthily came into your life right now, this moment, would you know how to stay? Or would you run because you don't know how to exist without chaos? Be honest with yourself. Probably you can drop it in the comment section. Let's talk. I've been there, I know how it feels like. I've run away from true love. The original one, the one that was real. Because you know why? It felt too good to be true. Yes, that's the vibe you get. Now, this is my story. I'm the kind of woman that loves independence. I'm an independent lady. I preach it, And growing up, love meant being useful. Love meant earning your place. That was what it all was to me. Love meant pretending everything was okay. Now, fast forward, the first man I ever loved was actually real. It was true love, yes. But it felt too good to be true. And then the second one only loved me when it benefited him. And the rest of them, including my previous marriage, it felt like all he wanted was all he got from me. It was never about how I felt. It was never about the kind of love that should exist. It was never genuine between both of us. So I found myself in a place where I was giving my all. I was doing everything to make him happy. I was doing everything to be in that perfect space of a wife, a loving wife. But everything I did, felt like a blind spot. He turned a blind eye to it. To him, it was nothing. Now, it got to a point where I really got tired. I got drained. I got burnt out in the marriage, and I cried. I prayed. I asked God. I said, God, why do I keep ending with men like this? The previous relationship I had before my marriage was the same thing. My marriage was the same thing. You see, and I know there are a lot of us, both male and female, that are going through this same thing. It's like a vicious cycle, I prayed to God. I asked God, why do I keep ending with men like this? But the real question was this: why does my heart recognize their kind of love more than it recognized peace, more than it recognized safety? You see, your heart remembers what your childhood taught it. Fact. But it doesn't mean your heart was taught correctly. So whatever your heart remembers from childhood doesn't mean it was taught correctly. Now, let's talk about God's part, which is the truth. In Psalms 34 verse 18, it says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted." He's not close because you did something wrong. He is close because you've carried something heavy for too long. Sometimes God lets a heartbreak repeat itself, not to punish us, but to finally expose the wound responsible for our choices. Alright? So, He's not saying you attract the wrong people. God is not saying you are attracting the wrong people. He's saying, my child, you've been trying to heal with people who kept reopening the wounds. So at this point, let's have a tete-a-tete with ourselves. Ask yourselves this question. Why do I keep returning back to this thing that is killing me? For those of us that are still in abusive relationships, in toxic marriages, toxic relationships, that is costing us our sanity, our peace of mind, and ourselves. This is the point where you need to have a meeting with yourself and ask yourself these darn questions. Now we're going to talk about 3 real steps to breaking this pattern. I know many of us want to break out of this pattern. I have been dying to break out of this pattern. I do my best. I did every research I had to, because I know most of us do not really trust therapists with our situation, and then we find ways, coping mechanisms to cope with traumatic situations and toxic situations like this. So let's step 1. Name the wound, not the ex. When I came across this, I was like, wow, now this is deep and it speaks to me. Okay, so name the wound and not the ex. You can't change what you won't see. Awareness is that moment the light hits the wound, right? It's not to shame you, but to free you. So don't pick the shame, pick the freedom behind it. Okay, when you name that pattern, not the person. Yeah, it's fine to name the person, no judgment, right? Name the person, but name the pattern. Then you stop blaming yourself and start getting specific about what asking to be healed. Now, how do you do this? Let's talk about how you do this. Okay, so keep a small note or a note on your phone. You could use your phone for just 2 weeks. Every time a relationship thought or attraction pulls into your mind, right? Stop and write. Write these down. Number 1, trigger or situation. So it could be a trigger, it could be a situation. For example, he didn't reply for 2 days. He didn't call me throughout the week. He refused picking my phone. He refused, giving me access to my family, my kids. Put it down. Number 2, immediate feeling. What's that immediate feeling you felt? For example, you could say, I panicked. I felt lonely. I felt ashamed. I got angry. I lost my mind. I began to hate this person. The third one is old memories or belief surfaced. What kind of belief came up? For example, you could say, I learned to win attention by earning it. Now, do this after 7 to 14 entries. Look for repeats. Look for repeats. Is it the need for approval? It could be fear of abandonment. That was my biggest worry. It could be people pleasing. that repeated theme is your pattern. That repeated theme is your pattern. For those that are looking for how to learn, to identify your patterns. Now I'm going to teach you a gentle technique that you're going to use to cope with situations like this. Now, when a memory or trauma arises, quietly say to yourself, this is familiar. This feeling is old. This is not true of who I am right now. So right now in the comment section, I would like you to write one short line that names your pattern. Okay, it's a free space. For example, my pattern is I love to do everything I can to please people, to gain love from them, right? Just one line only. Let your honesty breathe. Now let's go to step 2 immediately. Step 2, reparent your heart. Give yourself the love you need. Why does this matter? Much of the patterns come from an unmet inner child. Reparenting is learning to be the kind, steady adult inside you that you didn't always have. That inner child that suffers, you need to make that inner child heal. It's not fake positivity, it's real. It's tender care that rewires how your nervous system responds to people. So how do you do this? Create a 2-minute ritual you do when you're triggered. I do this all the time. Right? You can place your hands on your heart. You could just say to yourself, breathe in. First of all, you have to do some breathing. Breathing, you hold for 4 seconds or 5 seconds, hold for 2, and then you breathe out. Alright? Now say to yourself, I am safe. I have you. You can talk to yourself in the mirror. Say to yourself, you are safe. I have you. Right? Small acts of care like taking a sip of water, step outside, go to the park, take a single walk alone, go to the beach, play a calming song, or wrap yourself in a blanket, around your shoulders to pamper yourself. You have to take yourself out. This could be a weekly ritual or a weekly practice. Write one short letter to your younger self right now. Yes, I'm talking to you. Write one letter, a short letter, to your younger self. 5 to 7 sentences, okay? Offer the words of comfort you needed. For example, I see you. You were brave. You deserve gentle love. And the likes. Now keep it private or share it in the community, the Uth community, okay? So you have to be part of the Uth community. We do this in the Uth community, alright? This is a gentle technique that you can use to help yourself while going through trauma. Use present tense self-talk. Treat that inner child like a person in the room who needs reassurance, not criticism. A lot of us criticize ourselves. We hate ourselves. We've not even forgiven ourselves for going through that traumatic relationship. You need to forgive yourself. You need to heal. The baby inside of you has been traumatized. So treat that inner child like a person in the room who needs reassurance. Reassure your inner child. So right about now, if you can do this in the comment section, share one loving sentence you will say to yourself when triggered. For example, I am safe, I am loved, I am valued, I value myself. Keep it short. You don't have to make it long. This becomes your daily reparenting phrase. And you have to do this daily. Alright? You have to do this. So let's go to the third step. Replace the story with truth. Reframe an act. That is what it means. Now, your brain will replay the same narrative unless you intentionally replace it. You have to rewire yourself. The old story of I'll be abandoned if I stop chasing, no one is gonna value me, no one loves me, no one accepts me. Yes, it kept you alive once, but now it keeps you stuck. So replacing the story means retraining your mind with new truths and backing them up with small, brief actions. How do you do this? Identify the specific negative story that pops up. That lie that the devil tells you in your head. As it comes, you fight it with your words. If I set a boundary, they will leave me. No one is going to leave you if you say that. Set those boundaries. Guess what? You're going to cut off some people who do not deserve to be in your life. So identifying the specific negative story that pops up. An example is, if I set a boundary, they will leave me. I set boundaries in my life. I uphold boundaries. And anyone who cannot live by my boundaries do not deserve to be in my space. So you need to start valuing yourself before people will value you. No one treats you better than the way you treat yourself. And anyone who doesn't treat you better than the way you treat yourself does not deserve a table or a seat in your heart. These are boundaries. I'm gonna do another episode on boundaries. We're gonna talk about boundaries deeply. A lot of us lack boundaries, and I'm gonna talk deep into it in another episode, so watch out for that. Now, back to what we're talking about. Create a short, true replacement statement rooted in fact and faith. For example, healthy people respect boundaries. God honors my safety. You could write that down. Healthy people respect boundaries. God honors my safety. Now, practice the truth out loud for 30 seconds every morning and before bed for 21 days. I would have said for 14 days, that's 2 weeks, but anything you do within 21 days stays with you for the rest of your life. You will never forget it. And let me tell you, the more you begin to say it, the more your subconsciousness picks it up, the more you begin to act like it. Now, after doing that, you need to back it with action. Pick one small boundary to practice this week. For example, muting notifications, saying I can't meet tonight, leaving the room during an argument. Hello. Notice the outcome. Usually you survive and often you gain clarity. Back it with action. Pick one small boundary today and make sure you practice it every week, every day. You could also use scriptures or an affirmation that steadies you when fear arises. Okay? I always advise using the Bible. Pick a verse that resonates with you, that comforts you. When that fear comes, when that panic attack comes, use it. And then this is another gentle technique I can give you. Pair the truth statement you have drafted out for yourself with a visible cue. You could use sticky notes on a mirror or alarm labels on your phone, so your new story meets you in real life. In the comment section, I would like you to post your new truth statement and one boundary you will practice this week. Okay? So, I'm going to give an example of a truth statement. The right love will not demand my exhaustion. Oh, that is my truth statement. The right love will not stress me. Okay? And for boundaries, I will not answer messages after 9 p.m. So if you claim you are important to me or I am important to you, 9 p.m. is my curfew. It's either you abide by it or not. Okay, so one short truth and one boundary will hold you accountable and cheer you on. So at this point, this is a moment of release, and I would like you to do it with me right about now. Close your eyes for a moment. Yes, I'm talking to you. Close your eyes. Hold your hand to your heart again and whisper this slowly. I release that part of me that believed pain was love. I release the version of me who settled. I release the pattern that kept repeating itself. And I choose peace, even when peace feels strange. Now breathe. Your healing just took a step forward. For your information, congratulations. Yes. So your healing just took a step forward, and on this note, I would love you to be part of the Ruth community. Listen, you don't have to do this alone. Please. I created the Oasis of the Heart community because I knew too many people healing in silence. There's too many people crying quietly at night and too many people pretending to be fine in the daytime. So in the Ruth community, as I call it, we walk through this together. We talk, we pray, we encourage each other, we share, we cry, we laugh, we grow, and we break patterns. Yes, that's the most important thing. We break patterns. And when you are in the community, you have access to our free 7 days healing workbook. Right? You get it automatically, immediately you sign into the Ruth community. So you are not alone, not anymore, and not here. So on this note, we've come to the conclusion on today's podcast. But before we go, I would love us to say this mantra with me. Say this together with me. I am healing, I am whole, I am loved, and I am safe in the oasis of the heart. So till I come your way on another fresh episode of this podcast, if this blessed you, please subscribe, share this podcast, share it. There are people hurting. There are people hurting in your life. You're not just the only one. Share this. Subscribe, okay? Be part of the Ruth family, all right? Remember, you are not broken. You are being rebuilt by love, by grace, and by God Himself. And I'll see you again in the next episode. I love you guys.